Hello, ladies and gents. I have once again decided to record something. This time it's something I personally think is way cooler than the entire calculator, but I showed in the last video, what's called the last record I did. I don't know if I'm going to record what's called upload, but yeah. Anyway, if FYI, I built a calculator using components by, I don't know, yeah, using designs by Matt Batts and and some of my own creations, but this is like a essentially fully fledged creation of mine. Like I use CCA adders and created this fun little contraption. I'm really proud of it because like the first actual binary what's it called, binary calculation module thingamajig that I've built on my own, and it's super cool. I like it a lot. It's essentially it's an adder that can, in my calculator it could only like subtract what's called b from a if a was bigger than b. So it could only subtract, like, let's say 128 negative or minus 64. That would be 64. As you can see here, that's all it could do. That's all my calculator could do. Because if it were to give, if we, for example, reverse it, it would give out this here, this inverted number, which is not correct. It would give out the wrong number, and we wouldn't want that. And yeah, so essentially what this does, it gives out the right number just without the negative prefix if b is bigger than a and we are subtracting b from a, and that's really cool how it does that. Essentially, let's do with a smaller number so it's easy to grasp. Let's subtract 12 subtract 12 from 12 for starters, so we can see how this essentially works. This is a basic binary subtraction. We detect that there's subtraction going on, so we obviously shut off our signal bit so that we don't get another nice 256 out on top of our result. Then we we invert and add +1 on. We invert b and add +1 into the carry, and a stays the same. So our result ends up being what is this? 8. Which we did 4 minus 12. Yeah, that sounds right. So yeah, that's how we essentially get our result here. So we can see, okay, yeah, this subtractor definitely works. So let's switch cases, and yeah, so now we have 12 minus 4, which should be -8, and as we can see, it still shoots out an 8, so it is correct. That is what we want to have. That's good to know. So how do we do this? I mean, it's not entirely correct. It's still, currently you could say it's just a +8, but given that we know that we're subtracting and based on how this thing works, we can say it is definitely a -8. So yeah, how does this work? How does it detect that we have a negative number? Well, can't actually do negative numbers. It detects if b is bigger than a, as in how this works is like this is line A, this is line B. If b is bigger than a and we subtract from a, we know we are going to get a negative number. We know we're going to go into the negative area of numbers. So what we do is we compare the signal strengths, and as soon as b is bigger than a, as is currently the case, this torch gets turned on. If a is bigger again, this torch stays off. So so currently what happens here is, so yeah, we compare the signal strength, which is, so we know that b is bigger than a. What this does is we should first of all go how basically, yeah. So essentially what this does is it just adds another it sends a signal down here, shoots through here, turns our multiplex on, and essentially it stops or blocks the answer from the normal adder subtractor and allows us to, and opens the answering block from the then I guess negative adder, whatever. I haven't really given a name to it. I haven't given any thought to it. But yeah, so essentially how we pull answers from this is, as you can see, we have an inverted number. and we don't like the inverted number because we want the inverted number to be a not inverted number, so we can get the actual number. Because in binary subtraction, in order to let's just what's it called? Let's say no, we're doing this. Okay. So let's say we're adding. Okay, we're subtracting 3 from, or 2 from 3. Essentially, how we would do this is we would invert this and add +1, and then we would add those two together, and then essentially those would add, that would be a carry. Essentially, what would happen here is so this would stay on. This would stay on. Okay, essentially, I didn't know what I was doing at some point when designing this, because it did work out. I did design this myself. I'm not entirely sure. I need to study computer science again. I need to actually go to my classes. But yeah, so essentially we just reinvert, like we inverted the number at the start, add a +1, so we got this inverted number as our output, given that b is bigger than a. So we essentially just do the same. We take the output from the first inversion, or from the first subtraction, put this all back into here, into another CCA, invert the inputs, add 1, and then we get our answer. And our answer here is 8. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. That's essentially, when what's called 12 minus 4 is not 8, it's -8, but it gives up the 8, and given that we know, and this is a negative number, given that this torch is on, we can essentially just plug an AND gate to the output here, like have like a little flashy light go on here, say, yeah, okay, it's a negative number, and if we do, it's called 12 minus 4, we still get 8, and then we realize, okay, it's not a negative number, so it's a positive number. And yeah, that's essentially how this thing works. Very cool. I need to go back to classes and learn how to calculate and all that. But yeah, this is cool stuff. Yeah, yeah, this has been it. I don't know what my YouTube name is these days. Mandox, John Plays, I don't know, something like that. Yeah.